I'm going to illustrate the sewing technique using cardstock paper sort of as a mock-up of a signature or a gathering. Of course it's green, just pretend it's white, but the green will allow the rope to show nicely. And the way that I've prepared your kit is, I basically have already pierced the sewing spots for you. And I'm going to push this all the way through because I'm working with large rope, and I wanted to magnify the whole process so you can see the knot. So let's just run that all the way through. Looks a little messy at the end here, but if you were to take a a magnifying glass to your kit and your papers, your signatures, you would see it looks exactly the same thing. Okay, so just pretend that this rope was on a needle, and I'm gonna go ahead and push it through, get it through there. All right, come on, there we go. Okay. Now once I get it through, okay, once I'm in the back, I'm going to tie the double half hitch. All right, right there. Now I'm going to hold it out. I'm going to tighten it in. There we go. That's good enough for the purposes. You see the loop? Okay. Then I'm just going to kind of tug it in a little bit. That has to be on the outside, and you're going to run this thread, the upholstery thread that I have for you. It's going to come. It's going to go through here. The other end is going to go through here. Now this is sort of a mushroomed end here to keep it from fraying. I see if I can push it through the hole. Well, that was easy. Okay. So you bring it all the way back. Okay. And you're going with your needle. You're going to run it through that loop, and you're going to pull it back. You're going to pull it back, and you're going to tighten it. Okay. And as you tighten it, it's going to slip up like that. It's going to tighten itself. All right. And that right there, you have to make it nice and tight without ripping it down here. Okay. That's the first, very crucial first step. Now, when you actually have 5 or 6 of these signatures, at that point you'll take your needle and you go to the next one and you sew it, and you go to the next and you sew it, and you're not going to be tying off all the time. But at times you might want to tie off a signal signature. Okay. So at that point you don't want to pull that knot all the way back. You want to just get it nice and tight. Okay, but the trouble is you're going to have to do another double half hitch right on that same rope. Now, at that point, if you want to tie off a signal signature, which you'll need to be able to do, is you'll need to be able to tie 2 half hitches on the back. The first one was already tied. We tied that off. Now we've brought the rope through from the inside up, back out. It's sewed the signatures together. And what you're going to need to be able to do is you're going to be able to hold this tight and slip that rope under, or the thread with your needle under, and bring it in, bring it back, and you're going to have to keep it tight while you do that. To do it one more time, over, under, through that loop, pull it back, pull it out, and then slip it back towards you, and you have two double half hitches there, and it's relatively tight. Now, it'll be tighter down the line, but this is good enough for right now. And then at this point, you would cut the 2, and you would stitch another signature, a standalone signature. Now, when I say standalone signature, this signature is not attached to any others, but I needed to make an initial sewing right here to keep the pages themselves in line, right? Because okay, for this model, they're 2 sheets, 4 leaves, and then 8 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But you might have an extra 2 more sheets in here for 4 sheets, 8 leaves, 16 pages. It gets a little thicker. And then what if you have 4 of those? If you don't find a way to make those interior pages stay tight together in alignment in the signatures, then as you try to sew everything together, those pages are moving all over the place for you. Loose, everything becomes loose. So it's important in the method that I'm working with to learn how to tie off a signal signature nice and tight, call it a standalone sewing or a standalone signature, so that, and the purpose for that is just to keep the internal leaves or sheets, you know, aligned and tight in that one signature. That way you can work with 4 or 5 of these, move them around, so that, and the leaves themselves within the signatures are not popping out or getting loose or getting out of alignment.